Hey bakers, okay, so we're at it again. Let's make another Little Debbie treat, but this time we're gonna do it two ways. We're gonna do it the Little Debbie way, and then we're gonna do it the Bailey way. What are we making today? We are making honey buns. Okay, a honey bun is similar to a cinnamon roll. They're thinner, and they're glazed in this amazing honey glaze. So they're really thin though, and I just remember them being bigger, or maybe I always get the king size, who knows. Okay, so it's a simple bun, and yes, there is a proper way to eat it. You unroll it. No, this one's not gonna, I doesn't want to unroll, okay? So it's not like a cinnamon bun, but there is cinnamon in it. It's a simple yeast Danish. There's this delicious, gorgeous honey glaze on it. Light. And the bottom isn't glazed just for the drip. These are good. I forgot how good these are. They're good. Now, you might look at it and you don't really see cinnamon. I mean, you see a little bit of flecks of it, but it's not a super strong cinnamon flavor. It's very, very subtle. It's more of just like a Danish roll-up. Oh, see, like you can see a little cinnamon in there. It's hard to see on the camera. I can see it when I look close. Okay, so we're going to add very little cinnamon. Now, you might be wondering, Bailey, how are we going to do it two ways? The Little Debbie way and then your way. Well, the my way. We're going to make the Danish just how it is for both of them. But we're going to make the honey glaze for Little Debbie. But for my way, we're going to make a hot honey glaze. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Let's get our bake on. Now we are going to be using our stand mixer with our hook attachment. So into our stand mixer, we're going to put 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour or a 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. 1/4 cup of sugar. If you're going sugar-free, use monk fruit sugar. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to give this a little stirry-poo with our hook attachment. And then we're going to attach our attachment and step aside. All right, now for our wet ingredients. We're going to take 2/3 cup of 110-degree milk. We don't want it over 110 degrees because what's going to happen if we go over, we're going to kill the live bacteria in our yeast, and we don't want that. So we have our 110-degree milk. Yep, just spilled it on the floor. Pause for cleanup. All right, I moved to the counter because it's way less messy and I'm not going to spill things. All right, so into our milk, we're going to take 1/3 cup of melted butter that is not above 110 degrees. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 room temperature egg, and then 1 7-gram pack of fast rising yeast. And we're going to just give this a little bit of a whisk with our fork. All right, and we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes. After our 5 minutes, we are going to close our mixer and turn it on low. And we're slowly going to add our yeast, butter, and milk mixture into our pot. And we're going to let this knead for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes of kneading, I'm going to add in 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon and knead for 5 more minutes. Once your batter or dough has been mixed for 10 minutes or kneaded, whatever word you want to use, take another bowl, non-stick spray it, and you're going to take your dough using your hands and stick it in your bowl. Using a scraper, you want to get all that dough out. Waste not, want not. You want all of it. And put it into your dough ball. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover this for, how long are we going to cover this for? We're going to cover it for 1.5 hours in a warm, dry spot to rise up. So all right, bakers, so our honey bun dough is done rising. And look, it is doubled in size. So I'm going to drop you down. We're going to need a well-floured surface. Well-floured. We're going to punch it down and take it out. All right. So now here's the fun part. Get it nice and floured. We're going to just take off sections, small balls. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out. Roll it out. And then we're going to roll it in on itself. Put these on a baking sheet. What we're going to do is, hang on, I forgot something. Got my water. Okay, so see how your little end wants to just flap? Get it a little wet and there, and it'll stick to itself. All right, and then we're going to put them on a cookie sheet. Once we have them all made, we're gonna let these rise for another 5 minutes covered with a towel just on our stovetop. All right, so our honey buns have been sitting here for 5 minutes and I have my hot oil going. Mind the cherry fritters, that's another video. So all I'm going to do is I'm gonna take my honey bun, place it in the hot oil, and I'm gonna fry it for 4 minutes on each side. When your honey buns are nice and golden brown, stick them on a drip rack. I have a drip tray with paper towels under it for easy cleanup, and let these cool fully. And then add the rest. Get all of these fried off, and then we'll make our 2 different glazes for these. The traditional honey glaze by Little Debbie and a Bailey glaze with the hot honey. All right, bakers, our honey buns are all done and I am so excited for them. So now we have to make the glaze, and we're gonna make it 2 ways. We're gonna make it the Little Debbie way, and then we're gonna make it my way. Okay, so first the Little Debbie way, my recipe. All right, I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. I forgot my milk, hang on. I have my milk now. All right, so 2 tablespoons of milk. We need 2 teaspoons of honey. And then I have a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to stir this up. Okay, and you can see I have my silicone mat, and then I have this drip tray. So that's gonna help, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna dip these in and then let the excess drip off onto the drip tray. Okay, so honey bun. Now, yes, mine are bigger, but who cares? Nice and drippy. Get these all nice and doused up. I'm getting like the sides and everything. And let them, the glaze, firm up. Okay, so on this last one, I'm only gonna do half of it in the Little Debbie glaze here. Okay, so that's half. And then into this, instead of normal honey, I'm gonna add some of Mike's hot honey. It's like this, oh, it's so good. Okay, so a little bit of hot honey. This will be so good. I'm so excited for this. Got a spoon. I'm gonna just stir this up into it. It's gonna be that heat meets the sweet meets that super gooey pastry. And then on this side, I'm gonna douse it with my hot honey. I'm gonna let these firm up, and then we dive into scratch made honey buns. All right, bakers, so our honey buns glaze is all nice and firm and good. Okay, and so this is the one that I did the 2 different kinds of glazes on. I did the normal honey glaze like Little Debbie does, and then I did the hot honey glaze, okay? Look at these, look at. It tastes just like a honey bun. Wow. Little Debbie, you can turn these orange, so good. Lemon, so good. That is delicious. Okay, now for the hot honey. That little bit of a heat. Little Debbie, I gotta talk to you a second. I'm just telling you, that little bit of heat with hot honey, you have a whole new product line here that people would go gaga over. Hot honey buns with that little bit of heat, the sweet, the crisp, the creamy of the dough. Little Debbie. Little Debbie. Little Debbie. Hot honey buns. Not just honey buns. You need to get this on the markets like last week. I'm just saying. You guys, hot honey buns. Try this recipe out. And let me know what you think.